Yeah, welcome in, everybody. Best ball on call, and we're like the banner at the bottom says, working the weekend. Nothing else going on, no news. So the only really interesting news blurb I saw was obviously Tyler Warren. You know he's going to go somewhere early in the draft, but that the Jets said they are infatuated with Tyler Warren to the point they are setting up multiple meetings with the tight end. It's really the only thing interesting I've seen. Outside of that, BBG and PPR Tyler are going live in a little bit. GM Omega King. We'll see if we can get us all in a room here. Waiting on 11. I don't know if you guys, I didn't mean to rug pull you guys if I was there. I just went to hit the comment. Sorry if I did that. I wasn't thinking about that. I just saw the comment thing pop up. I apologize if I got you guys in your own room. If I got you underflow. Not my intent. I was definitely just trying to bang one out real quick before they went live. Because I was setting everything up. I had a Amazon delivery coming. I got to reroute some of my USB wiring in my computer, and Amazon showed up. And then I come back and looked at my phone, and I was like, "Oh, they're going live right then." So we'll see how fast people want to do one. I would love to hurry up and do one before they went live. Was it 45 minutes from now? I don't know if that's a realistic thing that can happen or not. Depends how fast a room fills. I bet a lot of people are maxed out already too. It must have been from a draft I was in earlier. Yeah, so I don't know how many people like actually have a whole lot left, or if they're waiting for. Yeah, for the most part, that's the same thing I'm talking. Who aims? I've done one. You can't get them done in under an hour right now. It's tough. People are like autoing the whole time and stuff. The I think too the lack of news, just nothing really has happened outside of what do we have? Jameis Winston to the Giants, and then the Tyler Warren news. There's really been nothing that I've seen anyhow. In the biggest, oh, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know if I would imagine that's probably not going to fill again anytime soon. So we're still waiting on say. I would think on a Sunday it'll fill soon enough. If not, then I'll just jump over there in their chat after we're done here. Is what it is. We'll see if we can fill up the whole 24 hours of the day soon. That's the whole my motive here. I want to see if I can get some in the off hours when other people aren't streaming. I had a bunch of stuff going on today. I had to go to work. Yeah, I mean, I would think so, but I had to go to work for 4 hours. I haven't worked a Sunday, and I couldn't tell you how long. They resurfaced the floors. My boss texted me. He goes, "Hey, I'll pay all your overtime going." I was like, "All right, well, whatever, that's fine." But yeah, that too was the other thing I was thinking. Like I have it on in the other room, but it's too much to try and pay attention to in the other room with this going on. Totally agree with that, though. I mean, we're waiting on 4, so it's filling pretty quick. I didn't think it would take too long. The board's not like super crazy right now. Not like just when with the player movement and stuff, everything just kind of tightened up at the top, and then it's diversify at the bottom what you want, or reach through the flip the board where you want to. That's kind of all it really seems like is going on right now. Waiting on 2. I'm not even gonna like repost anything. It's filling quick enough. It was already 5 minutes. It went from 10 to 2. Quick enough for me. No intro, no games to play. Getting right into it. Like it said initially, we're working the weekend. Who we got in here with us? None of you guys in here with me, huh? Everybody said, do it on your own. Cool enough with me. There's actually that's a lot of non-badges. I mean, I'm one of them, but there's usually I'm usually the only one. There's actually 2 other ones. What, one black, two black? That's what I thought. I wasn't sure. That's what I thought, Hartman. What's up, man? I thought that was. I couldn't remember what your name was. What your underdog name was. GM Omega. You watch, you do your thing, bro. I see you. I get to watch you drafting all the time, so that's nothing new to me. I don't know. What do you guys like better? You want that board up, or you want the queue up, or the actual board? I can leave it either or. I can do this too. I can leave you that one. I can put myself over here. Do that real quick. Is that better? I don't know. You guys let me know. Yeah, that's a good idea right there. Who I think that's what I'm going to do, just so I can remember everybody's. I'll put that over there. Leave you guys the whole board so you can kind of. I mean, I feel like that gives you plenty of info, right? That actually tucked in there pretty well. I was wondering with the overlay I was messing with. I got to fill some more of this in. I just hurried up and threw something together, but I feel like that'll work. Looks good enough. I mean, I figured if you guys can see it, that's all. Thanks on the feedback, because that's always like. I mean, I'm definitely doing all this myself. It's not like I'm Pete or something where I've got 100 people working behind the scenes helping me do all this stuff. I literally set up a spare bedroom and threw a microphone on a stand and said, "Let's do this." After messing around with you guys in the barbecue last year, that was basically getting my feet wet for everything going on. That's a little bit of a fall there. That was me figuring everything out with you guys last year. I knew nothing other than Dynasty and Redraft before Best Ball Barbecue last year. All right, if that's going to be me. Yeah, I saw that CD2 Gibbs fell all the way to 6. Take Nico and go. That is good enough for what we're trying to do here. I don't even really think there's Stroud's in like the 130s or something. High 120s, low 130s. That's really the only thing. Other Christian Kirk's right around him, a little bit before him. It's the only thing I really even think about with that so far. Mixon's been on a little bit of a slide lately, hasn't he? Seems like he's been falling down with all the rookie running backs coming up too. We're gonna get a BTJ wraparound. I feel like the none of the wide receivers ever make it to the second round on the corner there. People will think about it and then not do it. Mixon and Chuba. Yeah, they both been falling. Yep, I got Chuba yesterday. I think it was on PPR Tyler Stream. Might have been the 6th, the first pick of the 6th. A little bit fall on Achane. I'll take him if he's there. If he's not, then Derrick Henry. Do I take Achane? You know what? Let's just take. I've got so many Achane teams already. Take Drake London and I'll send Achane that way. What was the one start on PPR Tyler Stream yesterday? It was Chase and Achane, I think, wasn't it? Was that on PPR Tyler Stream I saw? I was like, get out of here. The whole room, I passed him at the 12, and the whole room passed Achane back to 24. I was like, okay, that's a little interesting. What are we gonna? Oh, that's way down there still. Let's make that a little bit more accessible. Look at some stuff behind the scenes while we're doing this. I don't know if I like being in the middle of the board as much as. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Who aims? I think it was Chase, Achane, Taylor. I believe that you're correct on that. I don't know if I like being in here as much as I like being like 2, 3, 4, or yeah, like 2, 3, 4, or even on the turn. I think I like that better. I don't necessarily care for the middle as much. I feel like you can get sniped a lot easier the way these rooms are right now. Not that that's not like obviously what goes on all the time, but like I've had JJ where I took him at 3 and was going to take McCarthy coming back, and some guy took him here with no correlation and drafted us in earlier. I was like, okay, I ended up back. I don't remember what I ended up in after that. It might have been Drake May with backstack with some receivers. Just one of those things, you know. We're just people doing stupid stuff like I was doing a year ago, not knowing what they're doing. Like, okay, just randomly take that guy because it's around ADP. For what reason? Okay, I know I still do some stuff that's not probably not the most plus EV, but I'm still learning too, trying to anyhow. A little bit at a time. Nico Collins, Drake London, first 2 picks. Hartman, I like that start. I like anytime you get Tyreek to fall back in here. Yeah, the 8 hole. That'd be me. A little bit unique. I mean, sometimes I just the running backs. I feel like there's so much better value once you get down in here. You can run out too. You can get blood dry on it. That's for certain. I will take either of these two. Actually, I have all 3 of these if they're there. I don't hate where we're at there ADP wise, huh? Scary Terry goes. I figured that would be. Yeah, just because we're gonna fly that, we're gonna real quick DJ Moore on that. Let's see about where. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it seemed like earlier, like when it was first, when people were first drafting it, like the beginning, end of February, beginning of March, it seemed like people weren't doing that as much. But lately, it's like you better get your quarterback when it's around. Hey, see, I told you you'd catch one vape. I'm gonna start doing them a lot more. I've been busy. I actually worked today. Head chasings, right? And that's so hard to do, especially in a bigger board because you know what's going to happen. You just absolutely know how it's going to go, right? Like it's going to get to like a pick before you, and somebody's just like, "Nah, that's good enough for me." A couple picks I like coming up here. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that'd be tough to risk. Chase Brown. Do I really want? I think what we'll do. Is take Hampton and push that the rest of the way. I thought about JMO there. That was my other thought. Yeah, I agree with this. Like if I have that stack, I'm taking him. I'm not waiting for that to get picked off at like 71. Is that where it'd be? Yeah, 71. Because I've yeah, big board 100% push it. Bigger board, no, not doing it. Just I mean, I've had it happen twice already, even in the big board where I had him here at 1-2 and it got picked off once at 70, once at 71. I was like, okay, if that's what it is, that's what it is. Is the gap too big, you think, between Genty and Hampton? That's always tough for me. Is Genty really that much generationally better? I feel like that's got to close some. I mean, landing spot is going to play into it, but if is he going to the Raiders? That's one of the things I was thinking about, and because all the other ones pile in shortly after him too, so it's not like you've got the rest of the people that have their roles defined. That's what I think too. I feel like that's got to close in some. Maybe he should be in the third. That might feel better because you get your guys that have all their roles in there, and then everything else falls back. You get right back into the rookies again. So through 4, Nico, Drake London, DJ Moore, Murray, and Hampton. I've done worse through 4. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I just think he's too low. Maybe Genty's correct, but Hampton should be up around or earlier, and maybe at the turn, like up with the elites. Don't know if that's right or wrong. Kittle's another. I've seen Kittle slide sometimes further back in the 5th. Yep, that's what I think too. The Genty will get bumped up and probably into like end of the 1st. It's exactly what I think. Telling me to take Chuba, are you? I mean, it's right at 8. It's a little bit of a fall. Let's not do it yet. Let's go Cortland Sutton. I'll push Chuba. See, like stuff like that where you're just like, I mean, I get it. He had a double stacked, so you want to get it. You got 2 good running backs. Yeah, that's true as well. I feel like at some reason I feel like Caleb Johnson's going to end up there. He just seems like such a stealer. But yeah, I think the same thing. Hartman, like he definitely 3-down roll. Oh, let's see. We can see where we'll have some decisions to make coming up. Not soon, but in a couple rounds. Yep, totally agree. Totally agree with that too. See, and then there's Chuba, and then the rookie running backs all go right in there. Oh, Connor, do I feel like another one? That'd be kind of fun, huh? I also had Laporta's there, which I have DJ Moore. They'd be in the same division. Yeah, we can do that. That's what I feel like is him being a Steeler. I mean, it just seems like something they'd do. Like him just being the not like anything special, but just kind of a thousand, like not Najee, but almost Najee would be the exact kind of thing I feel like they do. And then we've got other things we can look at here, like those two. I don't know how often they zone run, and I know that's what his scheme fit would be, but they I don't know what they're going to do. It probably depends on what they're going to do at quarterback. I would think, which I mean, I would hope is Aaron Rodgers after they signed DK Metcalf and kept Pickens. Well, who knows? Maybe they trade Pickens in the draft. We'll see though. Don't they just seem like 2 of the same guys, Pickens and DK to you guys? Like I know that Roman Wilson, he'll run slot, I would think, and Freiermuth, but one of them, unless you're just, or does Russ go back there and just throw moonballs again? That's going to be their offense, or do that and run play it. But Russ can't really move around like you. Neither can Aaron Rodgers. That's why it's, like that. That's why I think the quarterback plays into what they're going to be doing. But he really does just. That's what I thought. I was like, man, just Caleb Johnson. It seemed like that's where he could end up as Pittsburgh. Recap team through 6 rounds. We've got Nico, Drake London, DJ Moore, Marion Hampton, Cortland Sutton, Sam Laporta for the Lions faithful in the region that are probably watching. Good runner, wide receivers there in the 6. Quinshawn to bookend it. I do like this here with Mahomes double stacked with Rice and Worthy. Don't hate that. I don't know if I would have gone Connor coming back there. I probably would take another wide receiver, but I like that through 5. What are we thinking about doing here is the question. We've got options. A few quarterbacks that would make sense in our build. Don't know if anyone else wants him. Won't be taking him yet. I do. It seems like you can really push quarterback down the board lately too. Like once your 5 up here go, then you really don't have to touch it again until like around 9, 10, unless you have you're hunting your stacks. But the ones that'll slide, they'll really slide right now. George Pickens, Caleb Johnson. See what you're up to there. I'm not the only one that had. I don't know how much I like him. I'm way below him. What am I at? I'm right at the field. I'm at 8%. So I mean, but at his ADP, I don't know if I like. I feel like their offense. I wonder if they're just gonna. For me, if I'm the Lions, with what I saw in Jahmyr Gibbs last year, I'm not putting that genie back in the bottle. But then it's like, okay, who doesn't, who misses out because of it? Who's going to be, who ends up falling because of that? Do we like Ayuk there? Kind of do, huh? That'd be interesting just because of what I'm thinking here. I'll take Ayuk. Right. But I mean, you saw Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, I don't know how I can't run him and an awful lot. Even because it's going to open up your other weapons. Now, do they use them right with the new OC? That's definitely yeah, and the same thing with that Hartman, the 6 or 7. That totally agree with that. But yeah, with the new OC in Detroit, what's that going to look like? Are they going to, because they ran a lot of play action with Ben Johnson and distributed the ball. Amon-Ra obviously was, his PPR underneath stuff all the time. But is that going to stay the same thing? I would think he's Jared Goff's number 1. How much more involved do they want to get JMO? How much does Laporta lose out if they give Gibbs more of a workload? How much does Monty get? There's a lot of offensive questions there. I don't think they'll have problems offensively, but I think for fantasy, there's a lot of questions, especially when you have both Amon-Ra and Gibbs that go in the first round. I feel like one of them has to be wrong. Isn't that the same thing we had last year with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall? It was the same. I get that they're not the same offense. Lions is a way better offense, but it's the same principle that they're both not first round picks unless they're both, legendary seasons. Do I like pushing quarterback? Here is the question. Kyler there, Isaiah Pacheco. I am currently at a 0.151. Yeah, that's what I think, Hartman. If Monty, exactly, that's it right there. If Monty doesn't get hurt, I think he's a little high. We will take Jaylen Warren for our second running back there. Yeah, Ben Johnson. I mean, the stuff he was doing was awesome, and I agree with that. I was deciding who to pick there. If Monty doesn't, totally agree with that. Like he's got to get some of it too. They just have to. There's only one ball at the end of the day. Yeah, I think the exact same thing there. Thought about Bo Nix there. What was my debate if I wanted to take him to stack with Sutton? But I had my 3 thoughts were Warren, Bo Nix, and Igbuka, right where they went. See what comes back around. It'll get a little interesting, I'm sure. Just like who was it said that the quarterback, yeah, Hartman, the next 6 or 7 quarterbacks, you ain't kidding. They can jump to either side of the board and they can jump up or down around or two. That's what I feel like. Doesn't Darnell Mooney always seem to fall right there? I feel like he always goes right before at the pick, right before the first pick. When it and was that the 8th round? I feel like I see him go with that pick so often. How bad will everyone try and box me out at quarterback right now? I mean, I've got outs later on. I've even got other ways I could play it, depending what happens. I've been taking Travis Hunter personally anywhere around 100 when I see him. Like in this range right here, if I see him and it makes sense for the build, where if I need a wide receiver, I'll take him. I don't think I would here because I'm already pretty good at wide receiver, but maybe. I mean, I do have Purdy. I have Ayuk. I could push Purdy around. I could take him, and that gives me, if he goes to New England, a Drake Mayback stack. I mean, it'd be my 6th wide receiver right now. See, that's why I feel like if you don't take him at 100, you don't get him. That's why I think that every time in this round, anytime I'm on the back half of the board, he doesn't even get there. I do have Ayuk. Purdy would be almost ADP, but I kind of like pushing this a little bit further. I also can do that. He usually gets to the corner if you don't take him there. Then it's a matter of if I feel like I have a double stack, so I'd probably have to take Stroud. It'd be way what am I early at ADP? Yeah, I'd take him around early if I do. I could try and push him and hopefully don't get sniped. I don't know, with the double stack there and with the way the quarterbacks have been, I'd probably take him here with my only other quarterback out being Penix currently because everyone else would be gone unless I feel like getting around in the where does Ayuk land sweepstakes if he gets traded? Nico Collins, Drake London, DJ Moore, Marion Hampton, Cortland Sutton, Sam Laporta, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Warren, Christian Kirk. Rounds out the wide receiver room. That's a 0, 2, 6, 1 through 9 rounds. Yeah, that's kind of the thing with Travis Hunter. I feel like at 100 right now, with everybody not knowing, that's been my idea. Justin Fields was the other quarterback I was thinking about possibly falling to me. So do we play I have Brock Purdy take him. He's past ADP here. Or do we send him back around? Yeah, he's definitely risky with a double stack is what I'm worried about. And there's a lot of people, some of them that might be watching. I'll just take him now with the double stack. He'll make it a lot of times, but yeah, especially because it'll be right at ADP coming back like 3 after. With the double, not risky is the word. I might have pushed it, honestly, Hartman. If you hadn't said that, I might have pushed him. But then I'm really caught with my dick in my hand after if he gets sniped. Because I went early. I'm good at wide receiver. I can get some running backs. Couple tight ends in this range. That's probably better for you guys, huh? Trying to pay attention to both screens. What's going on here? Yeah, Stroud, I've got him around past, and I've got him sniped in the round before. So it goes both ways. Is the Lions offense going to be good enough where I can take Laporta I paid the capital where he should be my only other tight end in a 2 tight end build, but then how soon should I take the other one? Because I'm not that confident that he's worthy of the capital I spent on him. Just like Huame said, I don't feel great about it now, but I feel like their offense should be good enough. It's either take another one soon or 2 of them at the end of the draft. and just say, "Yep, hopefully it's good enough," and somebody else spikes me a few times. And see right in here, there's where the quarterbacks, these next few rounds, they can go wherever. Isn't that early on JJ McCarthy? Yeah, he's usually down at like, well, I guess it would be the next round. Yeah, that's what I usually try and do. I just wonder, is Laporta going to hold enough water to where I only have him and two tight ends that might not do much anything if I'm taking, one early? Like I feel like I have to take one fairly soon in order to have a good enough floor at tight end. I don't know. Maybe that's incorrect thinking. Maybe Laporta's floor is good enough with the capital I spent at wide receiver, and I have good enough running backs. Drake May goes there. That was one of my outs. J.K. Dobbins, him and DeAndre Swift, the two that are at the top right there, are the ones that I feel like I can never really push the button on. Not currently. It's tough. And you just watch them fall. Yeah, 17 to 22. Yep. I'd agree with that. But once you get past that, boy, it gets thin quick because you're in a lot of guys that are like, is somebody past them again in the draft going to take their role? Is the offense even going to sustain them enough to have a role? Like you've got your good offense. Like one that I'm always curious about is like Theo Johnson. I feel like he should have a role, but I also think that offense could just make it to where he's pretty not a part of anything. Like he's a non-factor. Same thing. Tyler Higbee lately too is the other one I throw in there. How I don't feel safe about. Man, he should get back, but let's just take Penix and get our second quarterback. So we've at least got Drake London and Penix stacked up, then CJ Stroud with Christian Kirk. I thought about Colston Loveland there, take just him for my second tight end and not take Penix. I was worried that I suppose two of them had tight ends, but the guy with Kyler I was afraid would just take Penix. One of them I felt like he would go, somebody in here would take Penix just a pick before, and then I'm really caught with not much of a out. If I had different wide receivers, I might have pushed him there. Trey Harris is another one I had more of early, and then I laid off, but I think I maybe should have just kept going with that. See, DeAndre Swift and J.K. Dobbins both still on the board. Right. That was the other thing I was thinking. Pitts or Schultz. The other thing I was thinking was that Evan Ingram's a really good pick right here, and then I'm down at two tight ends. Even though he doesn't correlate with anything I'm doing, I feel like Laporta and Ingram, that should be a good enough floor where I can stop at two. And then I can use one of them for my third if I want to, if there's like a good enough value on it, and I can hammer running back in this range. Right? You think so, Hartman? That was I was staring at some running backs that might not come back, but I feel like then I don't necessarily need to stack one of them. Pitts will come by. I can push him around though. I could take him, I guess, if I needed to, but I would like to. I would like to get some running backs in this range coming back. Just because I don't feel like I'm that great yet, but I've got both my quarterbacks stacked up with good wide receivers. Don't necessarily need to worry about any of the tight ends. I can queue them up just in case. so I don't forget about him because I'll do stuff like that. I don't think Kyle Pitts even makes it back. I think he usually goes in this corner over here that's coming up. But I don't think I'll take him coming back either. I'll push him around at least one more time before I take him. Just because I already spent that capital twice at tight end. If I got him in like the 15th or something, I'd probably take him, but I don't think he'll fall that far. Recap the team. At the 12-13 turn, CJ Stroud, Michael Penix, Amarian Hampton, Jalen Warren, Nico Collins, Drake London, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Brandon Ayuk, Christian Kirk, Sam Laporta, and Evan Ingram are the two tight ends. 2262 is the build currently. Rachaad White was one of the running backs I was hoping would come back. I just feel like there's a lot that can happen in Tampa's backfield, and Bucky looked like he has his role for sure, but I don't think that Rachaad White necessarily lost his role either, if that makes sense. I don't think he did a lot to lose his role, I guess is what I'm thinking. J.K. Dobbins still there. He's still there. Kyle Pitts, I thought he'd go in that corner. I didn't think he would make it back. Keenan Allen, that's a good pick. Did he have I wondered if he had Drake May. He went the pick after the guy with Drake May. So the guy that had Drake May didn't take Keenan Allen, which could have been a potential stack if he goes there. Took Kyle Pitts instead. I guess Njoku, Kyle Pitts to stop it too. Yeah, that's totally cromulent to me. I might tack on a third with that late, especially in 18 round. I think I'd stay, but in 20, I'd probably take one late. Right, that's what I thought, Hartman. Like as a floor pick, because I'm not doing much at running back yet. I mean, I've got a decent floor, but I can play around with where I'm at running back, I think. But yeah, floor pick, totally agree. Like he's going to have a role. That's how I feel like there. See, this is a good running back range coming through here. Cam Ward goes through there. I think we should. What's ADP at there? A little bit fall on Tajay, huh? I think while we're talking about people that also have roles, he'd probably be one. What's his ADP? 138, and I got him at 152. That seems like a good pick there. There was another person I was debating there. We'll see if he makes it back because I'm probably going to take a running back still with the next pick, I think. At a 2-3-6-2. I believe the next pick will be a running back. It did open me out to see the guy with Cam Ward. I don't know if he was maybe he was planning on taking him and then getting Tajay to come back. I think I was a little bit low on him. That's why I was kind of hoping he would come back. I'm actually, what am I at Tajay wise? I am at 7.3 on Tajay, so I'm just under. This is a pocket. Jordan Mason and Dylan Sampson were two of the ones I was hoping would come back. I mean, you know how that goes. If you push them running backs when people need them. There are some other interesting plays coming down the pike here. Jaden Higgins, I wouldn't have hated. I do have 6, probably need a 7th. I have ideas what I could do for that. I hate how much I have of this guy already. No, I'll actually show you. This wasn't even a stand. This is just something that happened. But currently, I have 20% Javonte Williams. Just the way it happened, like with pre-draft and the way he fell with the Cowboys and stuff. I am at 20. I could pull it up after 24.4% because I had so much of him when I was doing 0 RB teams early, when he was down in like the 190s or whatever. And it would just fall into that. And then once he went to the Cowboys and he shot up the board, I was like, all right, I'm not going to do it. But I thought about Tyler Algier there too, because he's correlated, but I also have him at 12%. So I figured that'd make this build a little bit different. But yeah, I still had 20 so much Javonte just because I was taking him with all the rookies early. And now where I'm at, the way I'm building teams, I'm still catching him on the way back up. I was going to make another pick in there. Don't even care. I'm just going to lean into it at that point. What if he ends up the running back for the Cowboys? They're known to do stupid stuff. I don't know that Algier would have been the only other one I like just because he correlates and stuff. I can make a case for either one there. I don't really have a stand I can think that other than the Travis Hunter around 100 currently. Looking at the board, I'm trying to think. I haven't taken a lot of Chase Brown or a lot of Kyron. Those are the two that, unless they fall like to where they have, I've taken Brees once he falls here. Kyron, I won't take him until he falls back in there. Pretty much, my exposures are pretty flat. I'm a little bit lower on Amon-Ra in the first round, just the way the board is falling, like with what draft picks I've gotten and whatnot. And Bijan, I was a little low on just because of pockets, but I'm sure if I drafted enough more, those would level out too. I'm 14% on Stroud and 9% on Penix. So I'm a little overweight on those. The guys that I have, I'm even in this draft, I seem to like a lot. Nico's 17, Drake's 14, DJ's 14, Cortland Sutton's 9, Brandon Ayuk's 18, Christian Kirk's 7, Laporta's 9. That was my first Evan Ingram share in the big board. That's why I took that there when I saw him. I was like, I think I should do that. Speaking of taking stands and flat exposure, didn't have an Evan Ingram one. That's why I felt like it was okay. Since that was my first Evan Ingram, I can push take Javonte there, push Algier, even though it correlates, and just take some other running backs, make it a little bit different. Algier might have been the correct pick there with the way the team is because I don't have anything else Atlanta going on. But I can always tack on other stuff later. I guess I should think about what I'm going to do in these next few rounds here. I'm going to need a couple more wide receivers still. Even though I'm strong, I still want to tack a couple more on. I took 6 at 100. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Me too. That's the same thing. I thought about like I could take RJ Harvey there. I could take Algier because he correlates. The only reason I did it was because Hartman asked taking a stand and exposures. That was the one I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it one more time while I'm thinking about it. And now I probably won't click him again. I mean, with being where I'm at. But what it also did was it made me have to see some of these guys coming back that I'm kind of underweight on their exposures. Like, for instance, we'll see who makes it here. Well, there is one in this particular range that I was underweight on that I would like to get to come back. Actually, 2 of them that I see now that I'm not but under the field. I wonder about Jerome Ford. I feel like he could be a good pick in this range. Like, can Cleveland really spend any sort of draft capital where they're at on running backs? I get that he's not anything special or, nothing great, but I don't feel like they have a whole lot of things they could do with, they're so hamstrung with that contract. Yeah, the only reason I have so much now, like I have a hard time clicking him now because I had so much of him what was he at, like the 190s, I think? It might almost been, I feel like it was 190 if I remember correctly. I was working so much and drafting when I could, like I was trying to pay attention to things, watching streams and listening to streams when I'm at work. I have it on the background and, you guys see me in there. I'll come in there and comment something. When I get a chance, I'll usually have it on my phone and just be listening, doing stuff at work. Blake Corum was the other one I was debating. That's what I thought. 190 felt like it was right. and what I take him at there. So I mean, it's still 3 rounds early. It's not much of a bump, but it's still something where it's hard to take him you know, when you had that exposure to him. Currently a 2.562 through, we're in the 16th round. A couple guys in here I wouldn't hate. I don't think I can do that there, though. Gino goes there. Another guy I really like in this range. I don't know where he's going to go. Do I do that? Yeah, I don't. I might as well. I think it's a good pick there. Oh, look, Huhames already knew what I was up to. Didn't even have to say anything, and that was, it was almost already. I let it time out just so it could do what it was doing. But yeah, I like Restrepo in that range. Don't know about landing spot. I like him more than Royals in that range, I think. Not by a lot, but yep, Restrepo is the one that it was exactly what I was thinking. I was fumble fucking around with the ADP there to see if what I wanted to do. Now the question becomes, do I feel like tacking on the third quarterback in this build? There'll be some interesting ones coming up, and they're going to go soon. I like that. Batch is interesting because he's like not one that I don't think he gets drafted a ton. Golden at 19's fun as well. Jack Batch is interesting. Or is it Beck? I forget how you say it. Maybe it's Beck. Another one that's interesting quarterback wise at the end of the drafts lately, I don't particularly think he's any good, but just with all the buzz, is Jalen Milroe. Just because what if he's got that sort of, you know, Anthony Richard. I know he's not the athlete that Anthony Richardson is, but he's got the rushing floor. If you're getting him down here, what if they decide to start him? What if he goes to I don't know. What if he goes to Pittsburgh and they bring Russell Wilson back, and by halfway through the season they're like, nope, we're done with this. Those are fun. I like those. I don't think I had time to draft enough to get any exposures up like that, because I've only done, this is only like my 40th draft or something. You guys are polar opposites. That's awesome. This is only like my 40th draft or something. So to take that big of a stand on anybody, it's hard. It's hard because even if you have somebody you like at a range, they'll move around too quick, because I haven't had, doing other stuff. We about tied this up before PPR Tyler went live, huh? I mean, we got pretty close. Did what I could. But we definitely got a few more streams here now. I can do this. I'm going to fire them off. Like, it's been such a shit show at work. Dalton Schultz, I was kind of hoping would fall back there. Like, we've had 3 people quit, and I've been working, basically doing the jobs of 3 people for the last 2 months or so. So that's always fun. I feel like I've got good. Yeah, I could do just about whatever in this range. Tight end, I could take another stab late. I think maybe another running back in this range might be the idea, since my running back room is still, I mean, it's Hero Amari and Hampton, I would think, is pretty much what this build is. Or maybe, yeah, that's probably got to be what it is. Maybe bimodal with Jaylen Warren, I guess, is the best what you're looking for there. Uh, 2.572 is the build. Yeah, I could see that. It's funny how we have our own, all have our own little pockets of what we're exposed to, I would like to add some juice to this running back room, I think. Batch goes there. I think in this range, I've got to take just for. I like his role the best is Justice Hill. Because after that, I feel like everybody's role is really suspect. Not even that his is great, but I feel like he still gets enough of that work. Yeah, Golden State is. I think Bond is taking too much of a hit just because I almost feel like he's getting double counted. Yeah, he didn't run well, and he said he was going to break the record and all that, but I feel like he's getting knocked down too much just because Golden ran well. Maybe that could be wrong, but I feel like Golden vaulted up and he vaulted down at the same time. Like Golden did ran well, but I feel like they both get like I understand Golden's going up, but I feel like Bond took too much of a hit simultaneously. Not that I don't think Golden should be where he's at. Don't get the story wrong. I just felt like maybe Bond got double counted there. Could be wrong. I'm definitely open to criticism. If you can tell me I'm an idiot. Feel free to leave a comment afterwards and tell me I'm an idiot as well. Keishon Butte, Juwan Johnson's the other tight end I kind of like in that range. Noah Gray, maybe. Do I take one more running back and be done at running back? Yeah, let's do that. Brashard Smith, come on down. Do you think that's right? I mean, Hartman, tell me, am I maybe have that situation wrong in my head? Right. Well, yeah, and I mean, Davis, if he so much as let him draft a guy once and you know where he's going I mean, I honestly fell into a lot of what Davis was doing last year. I was pretty Chiefs pilled for a lot of the summer because I was like, you know what, this is right. Rashi's down too far for being where he's at. I'm going to follow him up with Mahomes and Hollywood and just make this beautiful stack a bunch of times. And it kept happening. Once Rice tore his ACL, then a lot of it took a shit. But I still don't think it was like what they say, trajectionally accurate. I think it was right. But yeah, as soon as Davis, I mean, he'd let him draft somebody 5 times and watch where the ADP goes. I know how much I'm listening to his streams when I'm at work. I can't imagine with everybody else watching it, what's got to do to the market. Nick Chubb was the other one I thought about there just because he's interesting down here. But I fear that we've seen the best we're going to see in Nick Chubb. Pains me to say it. That's what I think. I mean, I like that he, had the confidence, cockiness, whatever you want to call it, to say he was going to break the record. But I feel like he got pushed down. I feel like they hated on him too much after he didn't. And Golden's the new shiny toy, so everybody take him. Nobody take Bond. He falls down. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe Golden. we could be totally wrong. Jameis Winston, did he at least stack him with neighbors? Nope, just took him for what? Goff, Drake May. All right, at least it's your third. If it had been your fourth quarterback, I'd have been upset at you. I haven't seen anybody really get out of line in this room. Right, and that's what I'm saying. He still had the highest speed. Like it wasn't like he was totally bad, which is almost what his ADP felt like. That he was totally bad at the combine, and that was the end of that. Think maybe another tight end. I could just keep stabbing at running back and wide receiver, I think, and be okay with where I'm at. Why not? Take one more running back and one more wide receiver. Make it a 2-8-8-2. I kind of like that build. I think we'll be all right. I do have a running back that I would like in this range. We'll see if he gets there. Miles, see, then you have like these picks that now are justifiable that weren't so much justifiable when the contest opened, like Miles Sanders. I can see it now. I don't say I like it or hate it, but I can see why you'd pick him now. I think he sucks as a Panthers fan. That's tough sell on Sanders. Yeah, that's better than pick 260 isn't hard, That's kind of But yeah, at the 40, he was doing he did okay. Like he had the top speed. I just felt like he got pushed down. I feel like he got pushed down and Golden got shot up because he got pushed down because Golden got shot up, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Maybe that's the best way I can explain what I'm saying. Somebody was paying attention when I said Tyler Higbee's one of my favorite late clicks at tight end in the draft. I see, but I don't think I'm taking one here. I think my two are good enough. I don't believe I'm taking a third. They can either ping pong or maybe take a third. Maybe take another wide receiver and then a tight end late just for another bite at the apple. How's my running back room? 7? Yeah, I'm not taking more than 7. I think that'll be all right. Do I take a tight end here? What are tight ends at ADP wise? Funny, all the ones that I was thinking about. You know what? That's fun there, isn't it? And I don't have much exposure to him in the big board. Let's take Elijah Arroyo. Just as another dart throw late at tight end. I feel that's justifiable in the 19th with the ones I have. 2773. I don't know that I'll take a quarterback coming back. Tight end button's definitely off. It's so funny that I could make the exact case that I made earlier in the statement. What'd you say here, Williams? Tez still okay, he hasn't tried right. And yeah, that's definitely a thing. Yeah, because he has a QB. I wonder if I should take a third. Do I take a third QB in this build? Is always my thoughts. It would put me at a 3773, which really falls in line. I've got enough. I feel this should almost be a quarterback pick with the way this team build is. I'm going to do, just because it's all the buzz right now, and I'm underweight on him. Let's see how it goes. Jalen Milroe with my last pick. Gives me a 3773. Recap the team. CJ Stroud, Michael Penix, Jalen Milroe. We've got Stroud stacked up with Nico Collins and Christian Kirk. Michael Penix stacked up with only Drake London. Running backs, Marion Hampton, Jalen Warren, Tyjae Spears, Javonte Williams, Isaac Grendo, Justice Hill, Brashard Smith. Wide receivers, I stopped at 7. I figure it's, or did I get to 8? Nope, I stopped at 7. I think it's enough with the capital I spent. Nico Collins, Drake London, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Brandon Ayuk, Christian Kirk, Xavier Restrepo, Sam Laporta, Evan Ingram, Elijah Arroyo are the tight ends. We will see y'all at PPR Tyler here in a little bit. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, while we're working the weekend. I'm your host, Anthony. This has been another production of Best Ball on Call. We will catch you again soon. Have a great Sunday.